And welcome back to Empire Total War with Darth Mod. Last time around we took Pennsylvania, and we also took Albany, New York. And next up will be this territory, which the French have taken, the Algonquin territory. And then off to Newfoundland, and we should have secured North America. But, then we need to look for who we are gonna fight next. I don't believe we are at war with... Well, there are a few. There's still France, of course. See what we need to do with them. And then we've got the Huron up here in the very north of North America. But without further ado... Oh yes! What I did in... what I did here was I removed the what's it called? The Marines. And so I've loaded the Marines onto this ship and I'm sending them to India to get an elite troop down here. And we're gonna go ahead and reorganize the army a bit, and then we're gonna see about making ourselves ready to deal with the Mughal Empire. The Mughal Empire has actually gone ahead and advanced a bit. I'm not sure if I told you this last time, but maybe I did. It's been a while since I recorded that episode, so I'm not entirely sure. But they've gone ahead and taken Prague. So, going from just holding this territory to now holding Prague as well. And you can see this, it looks kind of funny because they built it like with Indian infrastructures. You got an Indian farm there if you compare that one to the European one. Anyways, let's go ahead and end turn. Let's see what the enemy's up to. Ah, bloody spy had to move a bit. Also, if you didn't hear that in the beginning, I had a new piece of music that I found. Kind of unlikely place, but I found, what's it called? It's called Marche the Combattants, I think, something like that. By Lully. And as you all know, I've had trouble finding new music because most of it is gonna get claimed by YouTube and so on, and it creates a bunch of mess. So usually what I do is I take the music pieces from games that I know will not be marked like that. And I actually found that piece of music in the game Rock of Ages. I have a few other classical pieces there as well. But I would really recommend you checking out that piece. Probably, if someone's asking for the exact name, I can go ahead and put that down in the comment. But I really like that piece, and I would have liked to play like the proper one with, you know, the real sort of bombastic bum 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 and so on. Why do you start talking? Haven't I set you to not talk? Our public servant die. John Egerton. That must be the minister. Who? The Navy, it seems. I don't think the Navy guy was that bad before. Or not that bad, but this guy, yeah, he's 31, so it's probably him that died. We have actually one more that died. Natural causes. John Lake, Admiral. Unfortunate. The Admiral dies, and Winston Turpin, the worst Admiral, takes over. Lots of stuff being built. Trains gained. There's all these priests that gain trains back and forth, whether or not they believe in God all of the time. We don't have a church here, but we're already at 44%, so I don't think we need to spam any more bloody priests down here in India. So instead, what we're going to do, go ahead and build a crafts shop down there. Then an agent in Upper Louisiana, and blood pressure taken. The Revenants Stephen Halls of Teddington has long been respected for his detailed scientific studies on the natural world. Building is so and so. His methods of testing is to insert a brass pipe into the artery of a horse, to which a glass tube is attached, then observing the blood within the tube could be seen to rise, and has concluded that this must be due to pressure. Oh, so God, I didn't know that. Right, so I thought at first it was a way to measure blood pressure, but he just noted that there is blood pressure. Right, clever fellow. Although, I gave him a bit of flack there, but given if I lived at that time, I don't think I would have thought about sticking a glass tube into a horse to see whether or not there is a pressure in blood. You probably would know, though, if you were, say, a soldier, that blood had pressure because, well, you would see it spurting out of people all the time. I think we'll just drag everything with us, won't we? The entire army, because, well, these territories don't really revolt, do they? You know what? The militia should probably actually be stationed in New York, and then Henry Monsieur will leave this wooden fort, which I actually built myself, to secure sort of the bridges there. And I like the wooden fort more because it's a small, cozy little fort. Hopefully no one will destroy it. But I think, like just a small fort like that, and it's easily destroyed and so on, so it's not a major hurdle in case of, shit going down. I did recruit an army here, didn't I? With the 5th Northumberland Fusiliers, and we did have 2 howitzers. So what we can do is, I think we should advance those. Oh, why? Oh, it's because the Navy. That's why. We have to deal with the Navy then. Why did I not think of that earlier? We will send our Navy to deal with them. Oh, we can actually get all the way down there. Oh, almost all the way down there. Pretty darn close. We shouldn't. Yeah, he's stationed there. Well, there's no other moves to be made. And I don't think... What we can do is we can look at some diplomatic stuff then. There's no one that I can open trade with. Neither small nor great nation. There's no one that I... Well, maybe Sweden. I don't want Sweden to declare war on me. So, why don't you get a nice horse? So now they're friendly. But otherwise, I don't think we have anything... What we can do is see about bartering for some technology, can we not? Copper bottoms. I'm not entirely sure. Elizabeth III rate. Oh, that would be rather nice. How much would you want for this technology? Well, let's just make sure that we're not researching that. No, we're not. We're researching fire advance, some irrigation, and what's this one? National debt. So we are free to negotiate for the copper bottom. Everyone knows the King of England loves copper bottom girls. Yes. Let's see. How much? I imagine they probably go for quite high. So 7,500 pounds. How about that? Will you accept? Yes. No. Little to command themselves. Why? You know what? We don't really want Austria to gain anymore. Is there any other nation? Well, Sweden maybe? Sweden we don't care so much. Oh, they have advanced it. We're already researching that. I want my copper bottom girls, the King of England shouts. The Indians are usually quite No, they've also got irrigation. The Persians then? No. Who else do we like here? The Italians. The Italians, no, that was actually the Spanish. But do the Spanish have copper-bottomed girls? No, everyone else has irrigation. What's up with Europe and irrigation? Spinning Jenny. Offer technology. Savoy. Poor fellow, doesn't have anything. Russia then. How about you? Do you have copper-bottomed? No, it's... We'll have to go to Austria for copper-bottomed girls. And so I will offer 10,000 pounds instead. A little to come up. Well, I'm not gonna spend through the teeth to get copper-bottomed girls, even though the king do enjoy them. And so what can we build here? Artillery depot. Right, off to America, and how about we end turn? Right. Priests go around, spying and so forth. I've sent ahead priests to a number of locations to try and convert the native population to make sure that we can pacify them already before actually striking with armed forces. Prussia, Ottoman Empire. I think though, looking at the nations that we have to go to war with next, I think Spain is a pretty good candidate because they own the biggest share next to me of North America, and well, there of South America goes in here as well, and a lot of islands like Cuba and Haiti. I don't know what do you call it in English. Haiti. For some reason I cannot pronounce it right now and have to listen to a pronunciation of it. Haiti. That's not how you say it. Anyways. Gulliver's Travels from the Council. Well, everyone knows Gulliver's and Mr. Jonathan Swift and so on. So yeah. We'll go ahead and just building up some infrastructure here for the Americans. And perfect music for our attack. Let's go ahead and see if we cannot beat the French Navy first, and we can bring up even more cannons to bear on the enemy. And you know what? I'm gonna out-resolve this one. We've won, but very barely. But we won still. And where's the port? We got a port up here where we can repair. Winston Turpin. Well, you know what? We needed to lose a few of those ships because, well, those were kind of crap. So the 5th Northumberland Fusiliers has arrived. What they really will just do is hand over the howitzers to the general. You know what? Maybe we should switch out some units here to fit in the Northumberland Fusiliers. We got a lot of those German dudes, so we can remove 4 of those and switch them out for the Northumberland Fusiliers. And why don't they join the backup? Right, time to strike. They've got some cannons of their own. They've been developing some stuff. Some American infantry mercenaries. Indians, their own German mercenaries. Someone commented about my pronunciation of the Hessians. Well, if you, I would say it in German. I would definitely say it differently. But I speak English when I do this, and so I use English words, and I use English sort of English sound, the sort of the name, how it would be in English rather than saying how it would be said in, because well, there's a number of reasons for that, but obviously I guess the pronunciation of Hessia or Hessen would be closer to what I just said, Hessen. than Hessia or the Hessians. But yeah, that's the way Americans pronounce it, I believe. And we do speak I do speak American. No, I speak English.
As a result of technological research, new ammunition
Why?
types will become
I
available to you.
do believe I've told you guys to shut. That's, you know what? I think I have a bit too many cannons. Oh, you know what? It's because I've got second monitor locked in. So I was. Oh, don't tell me it's going to mess up too much. Because I noticed that I could push the mouse out to the corner of the screen and it would disappear. Let's hope this doesn't. Yeah, it might have screwed some stuff up. I don't know. I'll have to check that. Almost all of our cannons is howitzers, I think. Well, at least the ones I can see. Howitzer. Howitzer. Foot artillery. Howitzer. Foot artillery. Foot artillery. Howitzer. Howitzer. Foot artillery. Howitzer. Foot artillery. Foot artillery. Right. So here's the howitzers. Here's the foot artillery. Where to put them all? Foot artillery might be. No, that's poor area. Right, these guys will be put in the back. You know, I think we can just beat the enemy just by all the bloody cannons. That's a bit too many cannons. A lot of people have asked me about how to enable the 40 stack army. And what you need to do is you need to go to the launcher. So when you launch it from the launcher, like you click the Darth mod launcher, and then it starts up, and you got a number of different options. If you go, I think it's to campaign, and then at the bottom of the campaign tab, you select. Oh yeah, let's take a look at the Northumberland Fusiliers. Here they are. Here we have them, the Northumberland Fusiliers. They kind of look like grenadiers. But I guess it's cold in North America, so they need to have those hats. Oh, the officer actually looks different compared with most other units, which I think has that. This one doesn't seem to have an officer. Where is the? Oh, there he is. Well, it has the same as the one, but a lot of them have that guy. But this one actually had a special one. Let's see, where are we now? Northumberland Fusiliers. The Northumberland Fusiliers. It's a shame. I'm not entirely sure why I can't see all units. Now we're just spending all this time trying to put. Let's put the Northumberland Fusiliers up front. No, you know what? We're gonna put all the skirmishers up front. But the Northumberland Fusiliers will be part of one group that is advancing. Then we need these. What's it called? Royal Regiment of York. Can be next to them. Then we got all the German Grenadiers. They're gonna be bringing up the rear because, well, they're not as good at shooting as the other units are. Let's put 3 cavalry units over there, 2 on that side. Where do we have general over there? This seems fine.
The halt button.
Let's go ahead and start this.
Screen cancels orders and makes selected units
I don't know why.
where they are.
Text, only text. Boom, we started firing. And hopefully we'll break the French artillery before they even started. The mortars are not even firing yet. Let's go ahead and see if we can hit them with our howitzers. We might not be able to since I switched the type of ammunition, so if I switch to round shot, no, even with round shot, we're not gonna get there. We'll use this one because I like it when, you know what? Use explosive because I like it when they explode in the air. So I want to see massive just explosions here. Thing is, I don't think we'll be able to get up on top of the hill. So what we'll do instead is we'll actually hold our position. But what I'll do is I'll move the grenadiers to the flank. At least on that side. We'll need some more. And on this side, I will move them to stand behind and to hold their fire because we don't want to shoot in the back of our own men. Then these guys need to move up. A lot of enemy cavalry is moving up, so we want to deploy stakes. And I think it's time for the howitzers. Let's see, can I select all the howitzers? There we go. Tell them to start opening fire, and want to see a lot of explosions going up into the sky. You know what? What if I told them all to deploy their stakes when they were in these kinds of formation? Because this would still cover a huge area and they wouldn't really cover each other. Or maybe the angle here is too much. I don't know. But did you see that? Only explosions. We'll look into the next one a bit better. You can set them to play nation-specific tunes, but what I found, or at least last time I used that, was that if you set them to say play an English tune, all nations play it. So there was only like one. We're gonna fire a volley on this cavalry unit if it gets close enough. Okay, we're gonna use one regiment, and it's gonna be these guys. Open fire! The Northumberland Fusiliers have successfully sent the cavalry off. Good, sir. And now the light infantry opens fire. I think the enemy has gone too close, and so we need to open fire. Let's see about the grenadiers. I'll give them some time. Maybe they'll... No, they won't be able to fire. Right, this unit. Oh yes, now I remember. They can't even form square. Right, get those two cavalry units over there to support them. Although the French cavalry was broken. And off they go. But we might move the cavalry here as well, just in case, to move them into the flank. We got the Frenchies moving up. The American mercenaries. 9th Regiment of Foot. Some Native Americans. Armed citizenry. The thing is, we don't want to shoot the light infantry in the back. So maybe we're gonna hold fire a bit. The light infantry doing their job. Oh well, these guys gonna fire by rank. No, they're just firing first rank. The thing is, these guys look like they're in the wrong century, don't they? This looks more like 1600. We're gonna give the skirmishers quite. I think they will be able to fire for quite a while before we have to withdraw them. Although I think we need to withdraw them in this area because there's a concentration of French troops there. You know what? We'll get these skirmishers to come to this side. Because then we can flank. And you see they've only got one unit here. So they're focusing in on the Northumberland Fusiliers. We'll give Froggy, we'll let him enter our range of fire before we let hell loose on him. Let them come close. Okay, I think that's close enough. Volley fire, present! Fire! The Frenchmen come on strong. Let's move in the cavalry. A melee has ensured. I'm not entirely sure who's the better unit there. But I do think the Northumberland Fusiliers can probably use some help from the cavalry. I'm wondering if we can ride onto our own spikes. We'll see soon enough, as these guys are about to pass through these spikes. Yeah, we can ride through our own spikes. That was a good hit by the cavalry, and we got mass rout among the enemy. On this side, the King's New York Regiment was reforming for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. Get the cavalry to continue. It's the Native Americans that's still holding, but all the French and the German mercenaries are running away. Northumberland Fusiliers didn't actually suffer that many casualties as I thought they might do. Okay, let's get the cavalry out of here now. And we might want to turn this flank to actually come into the side here. March, men, march! The enemy general is moving up to try to assure his troops that the battle is not yet lost. You know what? Let's fall down on the natives on this side with the cavalry. Pour this square. The Hessian troops surrounded, formed into square, making a huge target on themselves. And you can just see the casualties mount, and well, not entirely sure why they even formed the square, because there's no square left. Right, are the howitzers even firing? Let's put some flames down upon the enemy, shall we? It'll become very clear where we are firing. Right, I think the time has come for the cavalry to retire, or at least these guys will fall back, and then these three units will move up. Let's see, are the howitzers, what are they firing for? Nothing! They're firing for nothing. Right. Now we'll tell them to fire once more. We'll see this barrage coming down with flames. We got an enemy cavalry unit moving directly for the Fusiliers. Oh, they ride onto the multiple layers of spikes. And so they get utterly destroyed before they even get close. And we just set fire to this artillery piece completely. Although they seem fine. Even though there's a huge fire going on there. And the cavalry smashes into the auxiliary bowmen. We got a bit of a struggle over here where we got Native Americans doing quite a number of on our flank, so I want to get up here. The 7th Regiment of the Hessian Grenadiers is suffering quite a lot, although they are covered by these trees, so that's good. Right, are the cannons firing at anything? Just tell the cannons to fire the mortars. Get rid of them. Although I do think they will retreat at some point pretty darn soon. It's like it's like we're firing napalm on this unit. Riding into those flames. Oh, oh! They charged the grenadiers. How will that go? The Native Americans are pretty good at fighting hand-to-hand combat. I do believe the enemy. Yes, the enemy has been beaten. The enemy has been soundly beaten. I wonder if the little bit of a crash or lag I had in the middle of this battle is gonna ruin the sync of the sound and so on, because we had some problems with that on other videos. The Algonquin territory is now back in our hands.
Ready for orders.
And the navy will be repaired next time around. I think we'll go for an invasion of the Newfoundland, and we'll see about reorganizing the army to send it down to deal with the Cherokee nations. And in the meanwhile, I'll obviously also keep upgrading these territories before possibly handing them back to the 13 colonies. And then at the same time, I'll monitor the situation in Europe. And there's probably going to be a few turns where I don't, which I'm not going to show you, which is going to be in between the turns. But I'll obviously tell you what happened if there's something major that happened in between. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and hopefully you'll come back for another one. Bye, and the next one as well. Bye.